Blessings, my people, and welcome back to the Daily Scoop, where we take a closer look at the biggest conversation making noise across Jamaican entertainment, dancehall, and popular culture. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bell, and select all because you already know we don't just bring you the headline, we look at the story, the reactions, the history, and the questions that people are asking behind the scene. Today, we have two major dancehall stories to unpack. First, there is a positive news surrounding Shawn Storm, as reports indicate that the Gaza-affiliated entertainer has secured approval for a U.S. work permit. For Shawn Storm and his supporters, this represents a major career development because access to the American entertainment market can create opportunities for performances, bookings, collaboration, and international exposure. But naturally, the announcement has also reopened a whole conversation involving footer hype, Vybz Kartel, and questions surrounding Shawn Storm's ability to travel and work in the United States. And then we have Masicka. Masicka recently sat down for an interview and made comments about his relationship, or according to him, lack of a friendship with Vybz Kartel. That statement immediately caught the attention of dancehall fans because for years, people have discussed the connection between Masicka's earlier career, the Gaza movement, and his eventual evolution as an independent artist. So today, we are going to break down both stories carefully. And before we get into everything, remember to hit that subscribe button, like the video, it costs nothing to do that. Let's start with Shawn Storm. The big conversation right now is that Shawn Storm has reportedly received approval connected to his ability to work in the United States. For an entertainer, that is not a small development. A Jamaican dancehall artist can have the talents, the catalog, and the fan base and the management team and the bookings waiting overseas. But if the necessary immigration authorization is not in place, those opportunities can become extremely difficult to pursue. That is why this development is important. Shawn Storm has been a recognizable figure within the dancehall space for years, particularly among supporters of the Gaza movement and fans of Vybz Kartel. Now, if the reported approval allows him to legally perform and work in the United States, that potentially changes the conversation around his international career. Instead of only building his audience from Jamaica and other territories where he can travel freely, there could now be opportunities for him to perform for the larger Jamaican and Caribbean communities throughout the United States. And anybody who understands the Jamaican entertainment business knows how important that market can be. And several other states have significant Caribbean communities regularly host Jamaican entertainment events. So when an artist gets the opportunity to work legally in that market, it can open another level of possibilities. For Shawn Storm, this could mean more bookings, more appearances, more opportunities to connect with supporters, and potentially greater international visibility. And judging from the celebrations circulating online, Shawn Storm appeared genuinely happy about the development. You could understand why. Imagine spending years dealing with uncertainty surrounding international travel and then finally getting positive news that can potentially remove one of those barriers. That's a moment worth celebrating. So, first and foremost, congratulations to Shawn Storm if the reported approval is indeed as stated. This is supposed to be a positive moment for the entertainers, but as always in dancehall, one story can quickly connect to another, and that is where Footer Hype enters the conversation. Over the past several months, Footer Hype has publicly discussed Shawn Storm's situation. Footer Hype is known for being outspoken, whether people agree with him or disagree with him. One thing about Footer is that he is rarely afraid to say what he thinks. He had previously questioned why Shawn Storm had not obtained authorization to work in the United States and had also raised questions about whether Vybz Kartel could or should have done more to assist his longtime associate. associates. Those comments generated plenty of debate. Some people understood Foota argument, others pushed back and said immigration matters are much more complicated than simple asking another artist to fix the situation. And that is an important distinction. When we are talking about immigration, visas, work permits, and entry into another country, there are official procedures that must be followed. An entertainer cannot simply call another entertainer and guarantee that a visa will be approved. At the end of the day, immigration decisions are made by relevant authorities. So while a celebrity might be able to provide professional support, connection, documentation, or assistance through legal channel, that does not mean the person can personally control the final decision. That is why Shawn Storm's situation has generated so much conversation. Now the reported approval has happened. People naturally want to know what Foota Hype will say. Will he congratulate Shawn Storm? Will he visit his previous criticism? Will he say he was right to raise the issue? Or will he simply move on and allow Shawn Storm to enjoy the moment? Those are the questions circulating among fans. And knowing Foota Hype personality, some people are already expecting him to address the topic. But regardless of what Foota Hype says next, the most important person in this story right now should be Shawn Storm, because this is his career, this is his opportunity, and this is potentially a new chapter for him. Let us talk about the bigger picture. Getting authorization to work in the United States does not automatically guarantee that an artist will become successful there. The paperwork can open the door, but the artist still has to walk through it. That means creating strong performances, work with promoters, build relationships, releasing music, marketing the brand, connecting with fans, and taking advantage of opportunities when they appear. Shawn Storm now potentially has an opportunity to expand his reach, and the interesting thing is that this existing fan base gives him something to work with. He is not an unknown artist trying to introduce himself to the world from scratch. He is already has a history, he already has supporters, he already has connections to a recognizable movement in dancehall, and most importantly, his name is connected to Vybz Kartel, one of the most influential figures in modern dancehall. That association could become useful when it comes to international performance. Imagine an event where Shawn Storm performed, the audience already know the Gaza catalog. Imagine him appearing alongside other artists associated with that musical era. Imagine a concert where fans finally get the chance to see Shawn Storm on a US stage. That could create memorable moments. And if Vybz Kartel is also performing at international events, there could potentially be opportunities for him and Kartel to share a stage. I am not saying that is guaranteed, I am just saying the possibility becomes more realistic when the necessary work authorization is available. And that's why fans are excited. But there is also another question that has been floating around in conversations online, and that question involves popcorn. Some fans have asked why certain Jamaican artists seem to experience different outcomes when it comes to traveling to the United States. Popcorn is a much larger international name in terms of mainstream recognition, and yet questions surrounding his ability to obtain US entry authorization are circulated publicly over the years. However, we have to be careful here. There are many rumors online about why different people receive or do not receive visa. People sometimes create explanation without having access to the actual immigration records or official reasons. That is where things become dangerous. You will hear people say one thing, then another person says something completely different. Then somebody else takes the rumors and turn it into facts. So when we are discussing popcorn situation, we should separate what is publicly confirmed from what people are merely speculating about. Now we move to our second major topic, which is Masicka, and this one has dancehall fans talking. because Masicka recently participated in an interview where he addressed his relationship with Vybz Kartel. And one of the biggest takeaway from the conversation was his position that he and Kartel were never actually friends in the way some people assumed. That statement immediately caused a reaction because fans have a long memory. People remember eras, they remember songs, they remember affiliation, they remember who was around whom, they remember when certain artists appeared to be connected. And Masicka history with the Gaza conversation is something that many dancehall fans have followed for years. So when he says that he and Vybz Kartel were never friends, some people naturally ask, how did we get here? But perhaps the first thing we need to understand is that being connected to somebody professionally, musically, or culturally does not necessarily mean you are personal friends with them. So my people, that is where I'm going to leave it for today. So remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss the next upload.